Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's foundation review. Now this is a different one. You guys know typically I'm a liquid foundation girl or a mousse, but powder foundations, yeah, I don't really usually delve into that area. I don't know. For some reason, I've just never really been interested and I've kind of avoided them. But Too Faced has just released a powdered version of their Born This Way foundation. It's meant to be shine controlling. It's meant to be able to be worn for 12 hours and basically make your skin look perfect. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, this is a powder foundation that I am actually interested in trying. You guys have been asking me to test out powder foundation, so I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to actually try one. So yeah, pretty much that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. I will be wearing the product for 12 hours as per the claims that they make to see, you know, how it wears on my skin, how it looks during the day. It's meant to be medium to full coverage as well, so I'm going to show you the entire application process. Hopefully it covers up some of these red spots and patches of darkness and what, but we'll see. We're gonna see. And I'll be doing check-ins to show you my skin close up, and we're gonna find out whether or not this one is actually worth the hype. So if you are interested in a full review, full demo, and wear test of the brand new Born This Way powder foundation, then please keep on watching. All right, firstly, having a quick look on the website. These are some of the claims that they do make about this one. So oil-free, controls shine, long wearing for 12 hours, blurs the look of imperfections, reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and pores, non-drying, photo-friendly, hides redness and discoloration, creamy and comfortable powder formula, provides medium to full coverage that is buildable, and it also does have some skin loving ingredients in it like hyaluronic acid and a couple of things. 25 shades. I mean all I can see here is what I can see on the website. It looks like there's absolutely nowhere near enough deep shades, but it could just be the swatches, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But yes, it does come in 25 shades. I do know that they recently extended the Born This Way liquid foundation shade range, so I'm not, from looking at that, it does not look like that actually applies to this one, which is quite disappointing. Price-wise, it is $37 US on the Too Faced website. I'm not sure if this one has landed here in Australia yet. I will triple check with Mecca and I'll update in the description bar, you know, if it is. I am really curious to see what this looks like on my skin, truly. Packaging is beautiful. It looks very similar to the Too Faced bronzers. It says Born This Way. That is what it looks like there. Like, how pretty is it? It is stunning. So 10 grams of product in this one. You open it, yep, oh, and there's a little plastic cover. You open it up and it looks like that. You've got a mirror, it says Born This Way, and then under here, I'm assuming, yep, you have like a little sponge applicator. Now, it did talk about this on the Too Faced website. This little thing has got two sides. It's got like a suede sort of feeling side and a rubber side. I think the rubber side will give you fuller coverage, and then it's kind of like a velvet sort of a texture, and that's supposed to get you sort of more minimal coverage. And then with this one, they've also sent over the Mr. Perfect foundation brush. This is actually really, really cute looking. This is meant to work perfectly with the powder foundation and apparently, you know, great for the liquid foundation as well. Ooh, that actually feels really nice and soft. Ooh, okay, let's get into this. From what I can tell, there's a couple of different ways that you can wear these. You can either apply it over top of your Born This Way liquid foundation to set it, make it fuller coverage. The Born This Way liquid foundation doesn't work on my skin type. I am an oily skin type. It literally melts off my face, so I won't be doing that. Or you can also apply it alone over primer, you know, just as a standalone product. So I have primed my face. I used the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. I freaking love that. Like, it is so nice. The only thing is I will be wanting to apply a concealer, and being that a concealer is a cream liquid product, I should probably put that on first. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. This is definitely new territory for me. I'm not a powder foundation girl, but I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer underneath my eyes and then blending that in. It's the strangest thing in the world when you've only got concealer on and no foundation or like anything else. It looks really bizarre. Now, as far as shades go, I do have the shade Sand here. Sand is typically the shade that I use in the like liquid products and things like that. So I'm going to give this one a go. I'm taking this brush. How cute is it? It's got like a little bow tie that is removable, but I just think that's really, really cute. So I'm going to go in. Basically, from what I can tell, is you go in and you pick it up. Oh. Okay. Doesn't really have a scent. you pick in the product and then you basically, oh, did you guys see that? A lot of powder sort of went everywhere then. You basically go in and apply it to the skin. Now I'm assuming stippling motions, like that's what we're sort of doing here. Okay. Immediately, I can see that it is emphasizing the pores in this area. It might just be because it's a powder product, but we will see. It is quite powdery too. There's sort of like a lot of dust going everywhere. Definitely buildable coverage, I would say. This shade isn't too bad. It might be a little dark. Maybe it's oxidizing because in the actual pan, it looks much lighter than it does on my skin. I will say it does look beautiful over that concealer. Definitely. Like I do feel like it looks really, really nice under that concealer. And now that it's kind of over that entire area of my face, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that my skin looks smoothed and airbrushed and flawless? And does it look like, you know, my fine lines and my pores and that have been minimized? Oh, they definitely have it on the side of my nose though. It's really settling on the side of my nose. I feel like sand might be a little deeper than the liquid version of sand. Like, don't be fooled by the color of the product in the actual pan. As you can see, it is a lot lighter in the pan than it is on my skin. Like, I feel like I'm looking quite tanned at the minute. All right, so this is what it is looking like close up. I feel like it doesn't look terrible. It feels really, really nice and smooth on the skin. It feels like quite soft and velvety, definitely. But I don't know, hopefully you'll be able to see it's really emphasizing the pores and the texture on the sides of my nose. I don't normally have that with a liquid foundation, but I do feel like my skin, like it looks quite glowy and pretty, I feel. Definitely I've got, you know, I feel like these pores here look quite emphasized as well. But for a natural, like everyday chuck it on, it's not terrible at all. It's really, really not. I'm going to stay zoomed in to show you the application on this side so you can see. You pretty much just swipe it onto the skin, kind of using stippling effects, stippling motions, and sort of press it into the skin. I wonder if you can apply it with a damp foundation sponge, actually. I wonder what would happen. Shall we give that a go? I feel like we should give that a go. All right, so I've got one of my favorite blending sponges here. I'm going to go into the product. Now, oh, okay, that kind of made it a little bit discolored. It doesn't say anything about this on the Too Faced website. Let's see what happens. I mean, it does apply, but it certainly shears out the coverage. Like you can sort of see a line here where I have applied it with the brush in comparison. Let's try with the actual sponge that comes with it. Now this side here is meant to give quite full coverage. This is the spongy side. Oh, okay. So that gives, like a dry sponge certainly gives much better coverage. And using the sponge, I feel, gives fuller coverage than using the brush too. No, I wouldn't say that it's oxidizing. Well, it's not drying down, so maybe it is oxidizing, but it's at least 2 to 3 shades deeper on my skin than it is in the pan. All right, so this is what my skin is looking like now. I feel like on this side, on my cheeks, it does look quite patchy. It does look quite powdery. That may settle during the day as my natural oils come through. I don't know, but looking at it, I just feel like it does look quite textured there, just sort of on my cheeks. I do have enlarged pores on these areas, and you know, I've certainly got other foundations that don't emphasize them this much, but overall the coverage looks really nice. I do feel like it's a medium coverage. It's done a reasonable job of covering, you know, my red spots and my dark areas and things like that. It feels really, really soft on the skin, like really, really velvety. It feels beautiful. You can definitely layer it. Like it's definitely like a layerable sort of a coverage, but I also feel like the more that I'm layering it on, the darker my skin is looking. So there is that to consider. But yeah, this is what my skin is looking like. It definitely does look like sort of soft focusy from a distance, but close up I can see a reasonable amount of texture. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to come back, show you what my makeup, you know, what everything is looking like, and then we can start our wear tests. Oh, and I will do a flash photo as well. We will check if there is any flashback with this product. I do look very tanned. All right, I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on now. I've just kept it really natural. I do feel like my skin is looking quite nice. Like, I'm not looking in the mirror and being like, oh, like what is going on? Like, I do feel like it looks perhaps a little better than when I originally applied it. Like, maybe it's just settled, you know, sort of smoothed itself out. Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, we can get away with the colour, hopefully. I'll zoom in and show you. Here is what my skin is looking like close up. I've obviously got highlighter, blush, bronzer, all those other things on. I didn't find, you know, things were very difficult at all to blend over the top. I felt like things blended exactly the same as they do with liquid products. But yeah, this is where we are at. I'm not... Like, I really don't mind it at all. No creasing, which is fantastic. I've got no settling anywhere. You know, maybe still a little bit of texture just down here. Nothing awful, though. Yeah, so far, I mean, originally when I applied it, I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like my pores look really big. I feel like I look quite textured, but at this point, I am not hating how this is looking on my skin. So yeah, things are looking good. I will check in again in about, 5 to 6 hours, and then later on tonight with my final thoughts on whether or not this one is actually worth it. I'm really curious to see how it wears. Will it cake? Will it separate? Will I get hideously shiny? It's meant to be shine, like controlling shine proof, and it's meant to be long wear 12 hours. So yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, guys, so back with my second check-in for the day. Firstly, I did do those flash photos, and there's certainly no flashback with this foundation at all. Not gonna lie, I mean, despite the fact that I am certainly a little shiny through the T-zone, like on my nose, kind of here on my cheeks, my forehead, and my chin, I am really, really liking how my skin is looking. It just looks really, really smooth. It does look quite airbrushed. I feel like I look healthy and radiant and dewy, and like, I'm really not mad at all. So far, I can't see any separation. You know, there's no caking, there's no separation. I haven't really got any settling into any fine lines or wrinkles. I just feel like I look really, really dewy and radiant. The only thing that I am noticing is that I feel like it may have oxidized even further. What's your opinion? Do you feel like I look more tanned than I did in the first part of this video? I don't know. I feel like it may have oxidized a little bit further than it had before. Let's zoom in and get a nice close up. Damn, I'm just so like dewy and like... I've got like pregnancy glow. No, I'm not pregnant. Like, I don't mean that in that way, but like that's what I feel like my skin is looking like right now, except we have got shine. All right, so this is my skin close up. I just feel like it looks really smooth. I feel like any of that powderiness, that sort of cakiness that was happening, I feel like that's really, really settled right down. I don't know, I love how this looks on the skin. Now, one of the claims, one of the things that they did say about this foundation is that it can be used during the day to touch up, but I guess at the same time, a foundation that makes a claim to minimize shine or reduce shine and prevent shine, it's not, it hasn't really done that. I do have a lot of shine. I mean, look at the side of my nose. Hopefully you can see here. There's a lot of shine there, but certainly it is an option, and I will use it to touch up later on tonight when I come and do the final check-in. But like, other than that, like other than the shine, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm genuinely blown away. I've never, as I said, I've never been a powder foundation girl. I typically avoid them like the plague, and I'm loving how this is looking on my skin. Way prefer it so far to the original liquid Born This Way foundation, like way prefer it. So yeah, that's that, and there's no transferring. It hasn't rubbed off anywhere. I am really, really happy. So I will see you guys again tonight, and hopefully we have got, you know, everything looking just as good as it does now. Fingers crossed. All right, guys, so we are back with the final check-in. It is officially the 12-hour mark of wearing this foundation, and I am like intensely oily. Is that even a thing? Oh girl, I am oily. This is sort of what happens with my skin when I wear the original Born This Way foundation, but this looks like this sort of happens at about 6 hours rather than 12 hours. Certainly, I can say that this powder foundation does not control shine as per the claims if you do have an oily skin type. Obviously, if you've got a dry skin type, that's probably going to be very, very different, but for an oily skin type, I have got so much oil through the T-zone, you know, forehead, nose, on the sides of my nose here, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, we were downstairs in the theatre and I was on my laptop. I could see the reflection of the light of the screen on my laptop bouncing off my nose. Like, I could see my nose glowing. That's how oily I am right now. At the same time, though, I'm not the product has transferred off my chin here, you know, when I've been leaning on my chin. Obviously with the oils, it's just sort of removed it, but there is no separation. There's no caking. There's still no settling. As far as everything else, it actually looks beautiful on the skin. I think this one would be an absolutely fantastic one, either for shorter periods of wear. Oh, actually, let's try touching it up. Because like I said, one of the claims of this foundation is that you can use it to touch up during the day as like a powder kind of a thing. Let's give that a go. I'm just going to take it on the little sponge thing and pick it up on that velvety side. Oh God, I'm kind of scared about what's going to happen here. And I'm just going to start patting. Oh my gosh, look how easily that gets rid of that oil. Oh yes. Oh, that's not bad at all. Wow. And it's good too because the area sort of where it's come off on my chin, I can just use that to sort of reapply. Surprisingly, touches up quite nicely. I don't think that it looks cakey on those areas where I have touched it up. I don't think that it looks chunky. I don't think that it's added any texture to that skin. It's kind of just gotten rid of the oil and fixed any areas where the coverage was sort of missing. Wow. All right, so here is my skin untouched up. You can see all the shine. You can see all the oil. Nice and close up. I know you guys love it. I know that you do. Yeah, very, very shiny. I do feel like there's a little bit of product just missing down here in comparison to this side where I have just touched up with the foundation and oh my God, it looks like smooth, fresh foundation. No caking, you know, no grittiness, no texture has been added. Normally touching up with powder foundations is like just horrible results. It just gets so cakey. I don't think that that's gotten cakey at all, and I actually think that looks beautiful on the skin. I am really, really surprised. It doesn't feel like 100% dry. It does feel quite tacky to touch. Obviously, that oil is still under there. It's just been mattified by the powder. I would be perfectly happy leaving my skin like this for like another 5 hours. Like, it looks really, really nice. So very interesting results with this one. It does look beautiful on the skin. I feel like it looked a little bit dry, a little bit patchy, you know, initially when I first applied it. But after about, I don't know, 10... Let's say 15-20 minutes to be safe, it really settled into the skin. It looked a lot more satin, it looked a lot more soft touch and blurry, a lot more natural, a lot more radiant. I felt like it looked beautiful during the day as I was wearing it. I did notice quite early on in the piece quite a lot of oil on my nose, but seeing that it touches up so well, like you could very easily touch up your oily areas. I would also be interested to know, could you apply a proper translucent mattifying powder over the top after you've applied this? I might try it with my Nikki AJ Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder. This is like literally the best powder ever for wearing over foundations, for controlling shine and like not getting cakey. So I'd be curious to, if I was to apply this first, if I could put this over the top to combat that shine, stop that shine, keep everything looking perfect. Because if I could keep my skin looking like this all day, oh my gosh, I would wear this every day, literally. I am so surprised. So for my oily girls, yes, you will absolutely need to touch up. This will not control your shine, but at the same time, it doesn't break apart, it doesn't cake, it doesn't separate, it holds up really, really, really well under the oils, which is typically what I go for in a foundation. I don't care if I get oily, that's easy to fix, but does my foundation look horrendous, you know, as those oils are coming through? That's sort of the most important thing, and this honestly doesn't. It's got a very similar finish to the Dior Backstage foundation. I love the way that that looks on the skin, especially when I do get really oily. It just looks gorgeous. Yeah, so you will need to touch up, but everything else, I am so impressed. Really, really, really surprised by the results of this one. Like I said, I just expected, I'm not a powder foundation person. Like, I've never liked them, but wow, blown away, Too Faced. This is incredible. So those are my thoughts, guys. I hope today's video helped you. Sorry, I just can't stop staring at my skin. It looks so soft and like radiant and just, oh, I was going to take my makeup off, but now I'm like, Can I waste this? Maybe we could go to the movies. Oh, Brandon's downstairs playing his PlayStation game, but I feel like there's a possibility. If you do have any questions about this foundation or, you know, anything you're wanting to know, any tips or tricks about it or anything else, please pop them in the comment section down below. Have you tried the new Born This Way powder foundation? What were your results? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know all of that down below. And yeah, I hope today's video helped you. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you guys in my next one. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.